Welcome back to Beholder to One Shot, where today we are playing a new game called The Queen of Light's Last Stand. This game, I honestly don't remember where I found it, but it's by a Baker Haas, and it's on itch.io, so look in the description down below if it sounds like something you're interested in. I kind of like the inspirations to this one, because the inspirations are things like Led Zeppelin, so you know, or like Fern Golly. Can't go wrong with that. We have never played this game, so bear with us if we are confuzzled as we are playing. Speaking of we, I am here today with some friends. A very familiar face, Mary.
Hi there.
And then we have Brianna, who was in our charity stream.
Hello. It was just so much fun. So much chaos.
And then Tony, who was recently on the discussions.
Hello.
So we are all playing a character. I will be playing the Gloom today, and my goal is to murderize everybody.
We love you too.
Lovely.
And we're going to have everybody introduce their characters and explain what they look like, so we can jump into the narrative after that. This is a very story-driven game from what we can tell. Let's start with our queen.
Yeah, so tonight I'm going to be playing Lilith Kai, the Wraith Singer. She's a smaller woman, but has jet black hair with almost this like porcelain white skin, ruby red lips, and almost not a cold expression per se, but has almost a look that she sees more than what someone else would see. She can really hone in on what people are saying and almost glean information from that. Very intelligent and not one to be messed with. And she does have almost a porcelain mask that she wears, almost as a way of protection. As being a queen, there are things out there that try to get you. It's her way of staying and hiding when she's out and about. So she has a porcelain mask.
Okay. And at her side at all times is her lovely knight.
I'm going to be playing Orson Lightblade. Orson is rather tall and fair-skinned with long, wavy brown hair, brown eyes. You can see it in his face that he's rather stoic, has seen a lot of things in his day. He has a few battle scars on his face, and then one along his cheek that leads down to this kind of disarrayed, long beard that he has. He has just neutral-toned armor, hide armor on, and then underneath he's wearing the classic ring mail protection. And strapped to his side are a long sword and a hand axe, and then always clutching his round wooden shield, prepared. And you can notice that along with his body and his armor and his attitude, he's seen some things. But as you stare at him, you notice that he's looking to always bring the light and protect those that are around him, and kind of holds his friends as dear as possible.
And finally, we have our bard.
I am going to be playing Kai Merlot. She looks to be the youngest of the group, not by a whole lot. She's got naturally tan skin from days spent traveling on the road, dirty blonde hair that's pulled back, and bright green eyes that seem to dance even when there's not much light. She always has her trusty fiddle with her, and even though times have been hard, she still tries to find and bring joy, but things have gotten a lot harder recently, and part of where she gained the name Iron Vision is once she decides to do something, there's not much going to stop her, and she has decided that she is going to serve her Queen Lilith until the end.
All right, and now we will begin. Lilith, you are the last of your line. You must survive, or the family that has fought long and hard for its reign will end with you. The gloom has taken them all. It's taken a lot of people, thousands upon thousands, and now it is coming for you. As you look over the castle walls, you feel its approach. As the sky grows darker, the breeze vanishes and the smell of mildew and decay hits the air. It's the same feeling that you felt in every time you've had to run. But now it's reached your home. Beside you stand your trusted friends and companions, your knight Orson the Light, and your bard Kai Merlot.
You know, we must find a way to the land of the Fae. I'm the only ones who can help us now.
No emissaries or wanderers of our lands have returned over the past decade.
And with the gloom fast approaching, we have no choice to travel there ourselves.
And with that, you take off from the castle, leaving the place you've all called home, or at least a refuge for the last who knows how long. And you make your way towards the forest, where it is rumored you can find the door to the Fae. What do you do?
Do you have any knowledge of this doorway we need to be looking for?
Only a little bit, I guess. Kai would know more. I'm not particularly into the stories of the fantastic.
Oh, I've heard tons of stories from here and there. Some of them seem a little out there, but there are some consistencies to things. Dancing light in the trees that the Fae use to trick people or play with them. Looking for fairy rings on the ground or rings of mushrooms. Heard a few tales. Hopefully we'll find the ones that have the kernels of truth and we'll be able to find our way there. And who knows, maybe they'll notice us wandering and take pity on us and give us a lead.
Well, it is my duty to protect you, Lilith. And Kai, I will offer you my shield.
It's appreciated, but keep an eye out. Last time was quite a close call, but
Yes,
we
ma'am.
need to continue on. I guess I'm going to try and see if I can sense any type of magic or where things seem almost a little too bright, as I've heard stories that the Fae almost change everything around them to fit what they are. So I'm going to try and look around to see if there's any type of trees or things that seem a little bit more vivid than normal.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll for order for this one. Roll a d20 and a d10 and tell me your total.
All right, so the D10 I got a 9, and the D20 I got a 3.
Okay. You are lower than your score of 20, so you succeed. You sense magic is dampened from behind you where the gloom is approaching, so it's easier to even sense the light of the magic deep within the forest, and you know it's there, but then you see little bits of fairy wisps of magic as they intertwine throughout the branches of the trees, almost teasing you and playing with you and lighting the way.
They know we're here. Be on the lookout this way, and I will continue forward.
Oh, wonderful. I was going to suggest playing a jaunty tune, but not revealing our location to other people is probably a good idea.
I would have to agree with that.
As you pass by the lights that the Fae left behind for you, the twinkles begin to fade, and you see a small greenish creature hunched over, eating something, and it turns as it hears your footsteps and screams as you face a goblin that the gloom has sent for you.
Hold here.
I don't think they have initiative, so I'm just gonna have everybody roll a d20 anyway,
Okay.
Fair enough.
because it's just easier.
That is just on par for my initiative rolls.
I got a 2.
Same!
Hey, there we go.
Woo!
Orson
We're
got a
squishy.
12.
So Lilith got a 2, Kai got a 2, Orson got a 12, and the goblin got a 4. All right, so Orson, you're able to react quicker than the others. What do you do?
Orson's going to take 2 quick steps forward and look back at both Kai and Lilith. Stay back as far as you need. I'll take them from the front. And then Orson will head forward, charging the creature, just giving a nod to the two ladies in the back. And I'll raise my shield in a defensive stance, draw my long sword, and as I come to a sliding with my feet, I am going to brace my shield right next to the goblin and then take a quick stab underneath, like to the side of my shield towards the goblin creature.
All right, roll me a blades roll, a d20 and a d10, and tell me what your total is.
All right, that's a 10 on the d10 and a 4 on the 20, so a total of 14.
Fantastic. You successfully slash out at the creature.
Orson's going to just stab the creature kind of in as close to the side as possible, trying to pierce one of the kidneys of the creature and into the guts.
You manage to get that jab in as it screeches at you, and you jab your sword, and this goblin goes down fairly quickly as it sighs in defeat and then slumps on your sword, destroyed. Because if I'm reading that correctly, you do 21 damage right now.
Oh, really? Dang.
Is that what I'm reading? Equals the amount of damage you deal and the integrity of your weapon?
Oh yeah, blades equals the amount of damage you deal and the integrity of... Oh yeah, so if my blades aren't reduced, then yes, I'm dealing 21 damage.
Shit, okay.
Ow.
So you destroy that goblin, and initiative didn't matter. That's okay. As you look over, you see that it dropped a rusted locket.
I'll bend down and pick up this locket and take a look at it.
It is sealed currently. You can try to open it.
I'll, as gently as possible, I will try to undo the clasp of this locket to look inside.
I will say roll me a hearts check for that.
Let's see, that's gonna be 9 plus 5, so 14 total.
Okay. You successfully manage to get that clasp open, and as you peer inside, you see a familiar face. You see a picture of the once queen, Lilith Kai's mother.
Lady Lilith, this is a little bit confusing, but maybe this belongs to you, as I handed out towards the lady.
I'll take the locket. Look closer.
You see a very stoic picture of a prim and proper woman, but you knew her much better. You knew that she was joyful and always willing to listen and talk and always there by your side. But in this picture, that doesn't show that. But you see still, even though it's small, the twinkle that was in her eye.
I don't know how they would have gotten this, but not mine, but at least a reminder of what was. Now, I guess things touched by the gloom can, well, twist things. We should go. Hurry.
Yes, let's get out of here. That might be more where he came from.
Yes, disgusting creatures. Glad to be done with them.
Do clean your sword, that smells.
Oh, excuse me. I'll go ahead and find some ferns or bushes and wipe the blade. Apologize, Kai.
As you wipe your blade off on the ferns, the little lights that have been dancing around and just kind of watching buzz up in your face annoyingly. I don't think they appreciate that you're wiping blood on ferns, but your sword is clean.
I don't think these creatures appreciated me touching their plants.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll be more mindful next time. I could use maybe some of the water or some extra rocks that I have.
You feel the gloom growing closer, and you start to push forward into the forest, the trees growing thicker until you step into like a muck almost, and you realize that you're in a swampy area. You see to your right a big pool of green, mucky goo.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Do we proceed forward?
Let's try and give it a berth, at least a wide berth, and then we can hopefully get around it, but keep an eye out. It could be trouble.
Also, we don't want to get slowed down too much. Last thing we want is that gloom fellow catching up with us.
No, we do not want that.
We also don't want to get stuck in that. Snarling her nose up, she's not a fan of getting stuck in bogs and swamps.
Does it look like there's any type of area we could side skirt this?
It looks like the area to the left is very, very dense and you might not be able to get past it. The only way around would be to go to the right, and it would take you would know, at least another hour or two to get past it. This is the fastest route to go straight.
All right, well, I guess we take the risk then.
I will give you the benefit of rolling initiative, though.
Great.
Yay!
So yeah, I guess we go to the dangerous side.
This is our only option.
Fear so. Let's hurry out of here and then see what these blasted fairies or whatever their plan is.
I hope they're leading us to the door.
Hopefully. Lilith, what did you get?
I got an 18.
Kai?
Got another 2.
Orson?
5.
All right. As you are walking past, keeping an eye on the slime got a 20 as it reaches out and slams into one of you. I'm going to say it slams into Kai, because I rolled a d6.
Can I go ahead and take that damage instead?
Yes, let me see if it hits. It does successfully hit, and it would deal 14 damage.
Okay.
You can roll a shields.
Thank you.
I'll roll blades. So as Orson sees the slime rearing up and slamming against Kai, I'm going to take a couple steps forward and trying to drag my body through this muck and attempt to deflect this with my longsword.
Okay, roll for blades.
It's an 18 plus a 7.
That is a fail.
Yeah, so that would be a failure.
That is
Okay.
very much a failure. So you go, but you slip at the last moment, and the acid hits into your bard, who is reduced by 14 acid damage.
So that comes out of my heart?
It does.
I think.
Oh, goody. Oh, goody.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to.
no.
I'm reading through everything to make sure they're.
Y'all might not have a bird for very long.
Hold on. So you rolled. What did you roll? 18 plus 7.
18 plus 7, so a total
25?
of 25.
So, Mary, you do have something.
Yes, I have order. I can raise someone's skill.
So
For a
if
little
you
while.
successfully roll an order, you can raise his skill by 4, and he will succeed.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
If I die, can I just haunt them being sassy and not doing much else?
Sure.
2 8.
2 8s. That is
Yep.
a success. What inspirational quote do you call out as Orson goes to deflect the slime from hitting the bard?
If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down.
This quote somehow inspires you to just catch your balance properly and block the attack successfully. Lower your order by 4.
Oh, I didn't see that there. Thank you. Could have been unfortunate.
So now you take that damage of 14.
That is correct.
So how would you like to divvy it up? Because you can
Let's-
put some in
Oh yeah, I can
shields
put
and
some in
some
shields and some in
Hearts.
blades, or some in hearts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 14 damage total.
Okay. I'm just gonna do. I'll just do half and half. So I'll reduce 7 by 7.
Okay. So as you block the path, the acid burns your arm a little and starts to melt at your shield. And now it is Lilith's turn.
And then just a clarifying question for the blades. I do have to lower blades in order to take the damage,
Oh,
but it doesn't say how much.
it would make sense to do it the whole amount, because that would be ridiculous. I'll just say I'm going to roll a d6.
Roll a d6. 6.
All right, so lower it to a 15.
Okay.
All right, Lilith, it is your turn.
So Lilith is going to pull out this, what looks like an ancestral blade, and begins almost humming a tune akin to like a blade singer as she gets the water droplets in the air to all form into these many daggers flying up around her, and is going to try and eviscerate the bog monster.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're rolling an arrows check, but we're
Yes.
changing it to blade.
Yep, just a little flavor.
That's fine.
And I rolled 9 and 10, so.
Okay, so you successfully stab into this slime creature, and it, with one strike, is down.
Keep a wide berth of this creature as it's slowly dissolving. Don't want to get any more acid on ourselves.
Of course. All right.
That would be very not good. Very well done, McQueen, by the way. And thank you, Orson, for protecting me.
That's what I'm here for.
So I will say that your arrows is going to go down by 1d6 as well, because the acid eats at your weapon a little bit.
For sure. Are you rolling that, or do you want me to roll that?
You can go ahead and roll.
All right, I got 3, so it's down to 20.
Yep. All right, because it says that acid reduces blades, arrows, and shields equally.
Yep.
All right, so you surpass this area where the slime creature was residing, and after a little bit of walking, it stops being mucky and gross, and you go back to a solid footing. What do you do?
Do we see any more of those Fey Lights creatures?
You do. They seem to be still dancing around in the trees going to the north.
Are we still following the Fae?
I guess follow.
Yes, I assume you all are all leading us to the entrance to your world, right? This is not just you playing some game, guys asking out loud to the lights.
You can make me a runes check.
I rolled a 7 and 2.
Okay. You know magic, so you know of Fays and what they do. This could very well be a trick, but you're pretty sure that they also sense the gloom, and you're pretty sure that they're leading you on the right path, the quickest path, but possibly not the safest path.
And Kai's just gonna watch them for a second, then she just kind of nods sagely. I understand this is kind of a situation. May not be the safest path, but it'll get us to the fastest. Onward then?
Yeah, let me just finish wiping off all this gunk off my trousers and my armor here.
Kind of like shake your leg a little bit.
Yeah, and just shake it out. Yeah.
Yeah, should get most of it off, though I don't usually wear armor, so I don't know. Some of that might not come off for a while.
Yeah, right now it's just kind of feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but it's okay. We need to get there as fast as possible.
Yes, the sooner the better, then we can have a proper bath, hopefully. Whatever it looks like in the Fae.
You continue your journey. You've been walking now for possibly about 5 hours, and you're getting a little tired. The gloom still approaches, but up ahead you see a stone building that perhaps is a refuge.
We fancy maybe we should stop for a while and take a rest.
Rest would be good. I'm starting to lose feeling in my feet.
Just a quick one. We don't have much time. We don't want more people to be taken by the gloom, but I think a little rest couldn't hurt. Can we kind of investigate the stone area just to see whether we feel it's safe or not? Is there a roll I can make?
Sure. Why don't you roll me a... I'm gonna say order? No. I'm gonna say hearts.
Sounds good. All right, so I got a 1 and a 5.
All right. So close yet so far from the 1 and a 1, which is surprisingly good in this game. Only game ever. You notice that the stone building is a little dilapidated. It seems to be withholding, and as you walk up towards it, you do see a thing made out of stone that looks like a human shape, sitting with its back against the wall.
Does it appear to be friendly at all?
It appears to be not moving right this second.
It's concerning.
If it is alive, it hasn't noticed you yet.
Lady Lilith, what do you see up there?
Some sort of creature. It's human of some kind, but almost made of stone. I don't know whether it'd be friend or not.
You see black wisps of what you know as the gloom begin to wrap around the creature. I will give you an action before it becomes alive.
All
That's
right.
concerning. All of us, or just Lilith who sees it?
Lilith pointed it out, so I will say all of you can have a surprise round, basically, before it will react in response.
My lady, I think it's time we just do not tarry
Yes,
in this area.
yes, of course.
We need to go. The gloom is actively pursuing you.
Yes, running's a good idea, but I might also be able to slow it down a bit if it starts running after us. Let's go.
All right. I'll take Midgard. If Kai, you can take the rear, I'll keep my eye on you, just in case the creature comes after us.
Good plan.
As you begin to pass the creature, rushing forward, your rest long forgotten, the black wisp seem to intertwine with the body, and it begins to twitch alive and stand up, the stone head looking directly at you with eyes solid black. It begins to follow and lurch forward, clumsily at first, but picking up speed. Kai, you did say that you would throw something at them if that happened.
Yes. So, if I wish to cast any sort of magic, I must first find a symbol to give meaning to. So, I'm picturing Kai looks back and she draws a well, you can tell me if this doesn't work, but she draws a symbol like a snowflake in the air and makes a motion like she's chucking it at the creature, trying to freeze it. Or at least freeze its feet.
Okay, roll me a runes check.
That was a 21. Still good though.
All right, you succeed. Lower your runes by a number you deem reasonable as the ice slams into the creature, and it's not down, but it is slightly frozen.
She was aiming at trying to freeze its feet to the ground, make it reduce its mobility for enough time to make it not as much of a threat. Or give us time to figure out something to do next.
It gives you a little bit of room as it fights out of the ice and finally does break free. So it does lurch forward, but you all get about a 40-50 foot head start on it, but it continues to run and run and run. Eventually, it starts to catch up.
I would definitely give Orson a heads up that she's I slowed it down, but it's coming.
So I'm going to say, Orson, you do have a 1 attack against it. If you miss, it will simultaneously take an attack at you.
Okay. I'm just going to slow down enough, and
I will run around you.
yeah, as Kai runs around, I'm going to flip my body around again, doing a bracing maneuver with my shield out, and then readying my longsword kind of more now above my shield, so that I have a little bit more leverage to what looks like a taller creature, so that I can pierce a little bit higher.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and make my blades check.
Mm-hmm.
13 plus 5 and 18, and my blades is at a 15 right now.
Unfortunately, that fails.
Hey. Orson is a little bit skittish, or not skittish, but a little bit afraid for this lumbering creature coming after us with no clear outlook of a place to hide, and already taken quite some damage from the acid creature. He's just gonna not judge.
I might be able to help, Orson. I can raise your skill It takes some from mine, but I can do it.
Go ahead and roll and give me a quote.
Oh, that's not good. That's a 21.
21 will not succeed.
Mm-mm.
So as you go to say a quote, nothing comes to mind in the heat of the moment, and you worry as Orson misses his strike against this creature, and the creature goes to strike him. And it misses as it rolls a 18, and it has a heart's left of 11. So it dodges out of the way of the longsword, trying to slam into Orson and grab him, but you're able to just get out of the way.
Ooh, geez.
Orson kind of does a tuck and roll as this arm comes down to strike against him, bracing his shield against the ground, rolling out of the way, and now with knees and feet against the ground, looking directly at the creature, he says, "I will protect you, my lady. Do what you must to make it to the Fae."
Yes, of course.
I will give you one more attack as
Orson?
the others two begin to run. Orson, yes.
All right.
I will say that because Lilith is running, she cannot use her orders.
Okay.
And Kai do a thing for Orson before we run off?
Sure.
So since poems can be lowered in order to restore the hearts of another, she's just going to shout over her shoulder, "No matter how dark it is right now, remember that the battle will end, the sun will rise, and you will find your joy again."
How many points would you like to lower? You don't know. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many he is missing.
I will up it by 5 to just to help give him a better chance of being able to catch back up with us again.
Okay, lower poems by 5. You are bumped up, Orson, to 19
Okay.
hearts.
Perfect. And I rolled an 8 and a 2 on my dice, so that's a total of 10.
That
Yeah.
is successful as you
Perfect.
deal 15 damage, which is just over what you needed to kill the creature.
Inspired by Kai,
That's awesome.
as I strike towards the stony heart of this creature, I will say, "And the sun will shine and light my blade as I strike true."
You run to catch up with your queen, who you see up ahead a little further.
I picture Kai kind of like has her hand like on the queen's back, kind of like pushing her, like gently pushing. Just like, we need to hurry, we need to go, we need to go.
Yeah, Lilith looks very relieved when she sees that Orson is all right.
Oh, good, Orson, you survived.
Well, I am so glad that you have a way of words around you. They were very inspiring. I appreciate that, Kai.
I try. Kai gives you a cheeky grin as we're all just sprinting.
Now, is there some sort of path that we can follow that is leading farther into the forest? I know that we're trying to follow these fey creatures, but if there's some sort of path that was used by any sort of the travelers that previously ventured into this woods in the Fae, Orson's trying to look out for those.
Of course.
I would say roll me a hearts check.
All right, 8 and a 7, so 15.
All right. You look around the forest, and the forest is dense. Not many have traveled this far. And you know that the few who have, like you've mentioned, haven't returned. But you see that there seems to be a little area off the beaten path that you can continue to follow. And the Fae creatures that light up the trees seem to fly that way, but they fly further away and stop leading you in the right direction.
All right. Well, I guess I'll look around and see if there's any clue they are trying to give to get us to go where they're going, if there's an illusion or something.
Okay. Or roll me a hearts check.
Give me a second, I can think about some of the stories I've heard, see if maybe someone knows I saw anything.
I rolled a 10, 4 and 6.
All right. And what did you get, Kai?
What did you want me to roll?
Poems. Since you said you wanted to base it off of things you've heard.
I got a 17 and a 4, and my poems dropped, so I do not succeed.
All right.
Maybe Kai gets a little lost thinking about, like, oh, I think so-and-so said something once, but they're gone now.
Kai, you begin to go off on a tangent about a story you once heard that is very jumbled. And you're trying to explain it, but there's parts about a bog, and there's parts about a knight, and parts about a wizard, and then suddenly there's a castle, and it's just... It seems like it's 2 or 3 stories all mixed into one. And Lilith, as you're looking away, trying to block out Kai's rambling, you do see that there is a small area that has a little entrance, and there's like what looks like it's a bush. It's covered, but it looks like it was purposefully put there, not like grown naturally.
All right. I guess then I will try and use that information to help us get where we need to go. So I will try and use it, see if that's an entrance to like underground, or if it's illusion. I'm going to basically cite it to my party members and come up with a plan.
This is just some sort of hole in a hill.
It's like a hole in the bush, and as you get closer, you realize it looks like a blanket almost, but like with leaves intertwined into the blanket.
Hey, lady, what do you think this is?
I don't quite understand, but can I pick up the blanket, see what's underneath, or...
Sure. As you lift the blanket, underneath is a space that seems to be able to fit 1 or 2 people, possibly 3 if it's tight. There's a journal laying on the floor and some long abandoned rations.
I guess this is helpful. Try and look at the journal, and maybe we should go in here if that's where they're leading.
It'd be a nice little place to hide and rest and recuperate and figure out what we're going to do next.
Yes, absolutely. I'll keep watch outside. The 2 of you need to rest inside.
All right, then, I guess I want to kind of thumb through the journal that was left on the ground in there to kind of see what I can find.
I is inspecting the rations to see if they're still edible. I doubt it, but she's still gonna check.
You glance through the journal, and it starts off fairly normal. It seems to be a journal of a traveler. They're talking about someone named Lawrence who owes him, this particular person, 5 shillings, or they're talking about the date they had the other night with
Abigail.
I'm so bad with names. The date they had with Abigail and how it went really well, and they hope to hear from them again. But then a couple pages later, you hear Abigail is dating another man, and it's nonsense.
Oh, it's too bad. Poor guy.
You continue to flip through and watch as the story just unfolds of this man's life. And then you see it starts to get a little bit more hasty, and you see sort of a darkness and of things. Someone died in the night and nobody knows what happened, and rumor has it that there's a killer that's out there. Perhaps someone killed all the cows, someone killed the old lady across the street. The plants are withering, and what is happening and what is going on? The town is going insane. I need to leave. And then the notes continue a month later. I made it to another town, but it's not stopping. Is it me? Am I causing this? Am I the reason? And they go into ramblings of a person who thinks that they are the one that is causing this chaos, even though they did nothing. The notes get wilder and wilder until they say, I need to go into hiding. Maybe if I'm away from all others, nobody will be hurt any longer. And then they start to dwindle. It's like the deaths, they haven't happened. Maybe it's done. But I broke my leg and I can't go anywhere. I need to rest. Maybe tomorrow I can travel further. And then they just stop. But you don't see a body anywhere in this tent.
Well, that's certainly something. Would he have been being chased by the gloom, or perhaps it just happened to be going in the same direction?
Maybe even chased by this person's own madness.
Be.
There is no body around here. Maybe continued to wander. What sane person would leave their belongings behind in such a manner and continue to wander?
I think it's clear by the notes this person was no longer sane quite a while ago. Any dates on there?
The dates are from about 20 years ago.
Does that line up at all with any of the timeline of the gloom itself?
It would. You would know that you're still rather young, probably in your, at the most, 40s. So you were young when this all started, but you remember knights were sent that were on your father's guard to go and find out what was happening. Men and women were sent as messengers begging for assistance, but everyone couldn't help. But you didn't understand at the time why. You didn't understand why your father didn't send men, and you were almost angry at him for denying these people their help. But that was approximately 20 years ago, 30 years ago that all of this started, and your parents tried to keep you sheltered from the real truth of it until the gloom affected your family. And you overheard one night your mother screaming angrily that they had to do something. They couldn't just sit here and wait for the gloom to reach them. But you didn't understand. And at this point you were old enough to understand, but you didn't know what the gloom was. So I'd say you were probably in your late teens, early 20s by that point.
Got it. Well, I guess, what if the gloom was a person?
One person doing all of this.
Well, I mean, hate and things can rot out your love. I mean, certain emotions are strong enough to leave a lasting impact.
It's true, I've seen people do impressive things with magic, but kill and destroy as many as the gloom has killed? Lost count a long time ago of how many people I lost, and I know same goes for the two of you. What could one person come at?
I don't know, but we need to try something.
All I know is that I've lost many a soldier, many a friend to this menace that's called the gloom, this madness that's called the gloom, and now it's encroaching upon us, upon the lady, and I don't want it to continue.
I agree.
I want to see the light, even if my body fails me in the end. I want our lands to be filled with light once more.
Absolutely. Can I come up with a way that we can maybe use this information? I do know that we had the locket that had my mother's image in it, and it talked about him loving someone and then rejecting it. Was he after her? I don't know. No, I'll show my findings to the others.
You would know that the name that was mentioned was Abigail.
I was about to say he did mention a name.
Was that my mother's name?
Probably not.
Okay, well.
But that was like way before all this started.
Yeah, well.
Maybe he stumbled into the gloom and the gloom stuck to him and then grew from there.
Could be.
By the way, if it's connected to a person, maybe we can stop it. The way we are going to need help, because this has taken a lot.
I believe that's what we're headed towards, to get some help. Do you both feel like we have rested enough to continue on this journey?
Yes, I do. I think we need to hurry.
So let's continue on. We got some fairies to find and a world to save.
As you begin to travel once more, you follow the paths that the fairies were originally leading you to, hoping that the fairies will appear once again to assist you. It's past dusk now, and the sun has set. It is dark beyond the lantern that is on Orson's hip. Up ahead, you're walking forward, and I'm assuming because Orson has the light, are you in the lead or are you in the middle still?
Orson prefers to take the middle section so that the most amount of light can be lit from front and back.
Okay. Lilith, are you ahead?
Yep, I'll be right next to him.
Yeah, and if Kai is in the back, she'll like have her hand on Orson's shoulder when it gets dark, just so he knows she's still back there. Because I'm kind of picturing they just sort of took her in several years ago, so she's just like, this is my family now.
Okay. As you're walking forward, Lilith, suddenly, a person lowers directly in front of you. They weren't there a moment ago, and you are suddenly face to face with an upside-down humanoid with a multitude of eyes. For a brief moment, you begin to count, and you reach over 12, 14, 15, 17, you're not sure. There's a lot, and they just go, present or past? And they just tilt their head in this awkward manner.
Orson's going to immediately reach for his sword and his shield, but look towards Lady Lilith for any sort of indication.
It's all right, Orson. It's fine. Present or past. Look, we're just trying to get away from the gloom and to stop it. So I guess both.
Present or past?
Present. We're trying to presently get rid of the gloom.
A good choice. And it drops something on the floor and then skitters back up into the tree.
I'll pick up whatever's dropped.
As you pick up the item, it is a mossy cloak that Kai, you would recognize fairly easily as one that would protect from poison.
Oh, that's a nice gift. It protects you from poison. You should wear it, my lady. Keep yourself safe.
Right here. Well, that's at least a helpfulness. Now, how do we use it to stop it? That's the real question.
I'm going to retroactively say acid because poison isn't a type of damage that I see on here at all. So just say
I would have
it
said
protects from
acid then.
Okay.
It protects you from acid.
I helps Lilith put the cloak on. Well, if it keeps you safe, that's the important part. I don't know exactly what that thing is, aside from I never want to see anything with that many eyes again.
I'd much prefer not to see that thing again as well.
If it's got some connection with the Fae, perhaps it was trying to help in some strange way.
I guess. I don't know, but maybe we try.
It is an odd comfort to feel that not all creatures are affected by the gloom.
Someone was affected by something. I'm very proud of you, my queen, for not screaming like a little girl, because I very nearly did.
I mean, it's understandable, but we must keep going.
If you tell anyone I said that, I will deny everything.
Of course, I understand. Let's just try to stay alive to even have those threats be imagined.
You are able to travel for about 6 more hours when you are growing exhausted. You need to find a place to rest and sleep. You can't keep running, even if it's just for a little while. You rested earlier for maybe an hour or so, but you're pushing on probably 12 or so hours. You can try to keep pushing, but it might hurt you more than it helps.
I think making camp for the night might be best.
Yes, my lady. Let's find a good place on the ground, or I have stayed in trees in my past when it was not safe to be on the ground. It's not the most favorable place to sleep, but if we tie ropes around the limbs of the trees and tie ourselves to these ropes, at least we will be protected from those creatures on the ground. I don't know how much protection that would be, but...
Oh, yes, that would be good.
Certainly something. It might make us harder to find for anything trying to find us. At least harder to get to.
That's for sure. I guess we make camp and set up watches, so hopefully the gloom won't sneak up on us too easy.
Yes, that would be unfortunate, and...
Should we light a fire? Is that the best decision in this area?
That might be better to do during the day. I feel like that would draw everything's attention to us. I've heard lots of stories of people that lit a fire, and when the next party came along, what happened to the person that lit the fire? Not good. Not good at all.
I think I will just help the two of you up into a tree and have you tie yourselves down to the trunk, if that's okay with the two of you.
Yes, that's no problem to me at all.
Appreciate that, Orson. Just make sure you're safe yourself, and protect us if you're dead.
Well, I know you do not have much experience, but know that The steel of my blade and my shield will offer some protection if you must pick it up in my passing.
I will certainly try, but let's not put that to the test, shall we?
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
I hope so too.
But for now, sleep.
Hello. Sorry for the interruption here, but I wanted to give you a advertisement for one of our friends in the tabletop community. Please give it a listen and go check them out.
Aye, did you know you can upgrade the reactor in our ship to a toroidal Series 3 turbofan model?
No.
I mean, it's only slightly exploded, look.
No.
Ladies, we've got a job.
Oh, thank God. I don't care what it is. Just please stop vetoing my engines.
It's some kind of advertising job for our Cosmopunk show, it looks like. But it's got to be quick. It can't be anything longer than 50 seconds.
Flyboy, set a timer for 50 seconds.
No, we've already started. The timer's going to mean a damn thing.
Oh, it'll give us a rough idea.
Hang on, I didn't agree to be in an advert.
Well, it's too late. You're already in it. Besides, it'll be over by the time you get your fat coyote butt out the room.
Hey, you're fatter than I am.
Oh, stop arguing, you lot. I'll do it. Cosmopunk is a Starfinder actual play podcast focusing on character-driven storytelling. We're 4 friends from the UK, and occasionally more than 4 friends from not the UK. We play homebrewed stories for the crew of the Leica 7 set in Paizo's Starfinder universe. Follow the adventures of 4 alien mercs as we get into trouble and advance outer space. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and check us out at cosmopunk.net.
Wow. That was actually really good.
And now, back to the show.
Orson's gonna help Lilith and Kai up to their respective tree and probably take a sturdier limb a little bit of ways away and just face out towards the road and keeping an eye out. I think Orson will go ahead and take first watch.
Okay. You begin to rest. You fall asleep, Kai and Lilith, Orson keeping watch, trying to stay awake. I need you to roll me a hearts check. Kai and Lilith, you begin to have dreams of your loved ones. You see fond memories that you once had. A dinner one night, a goodnight kiss on the forehead, a bedtime story when you were little.
Fiddle off in a bar. Several fiddles off. Fiddle-offs.
Kai, you see yourself with every time you've ever won any fiddle contest. You surprisingly don't see all the ones you've lost, though.
I never loses.
Kai suddenly sees all the ones she's lost. No, I'm kidding. Orson, what you get?
16.
All right, you manage to stay awake, and eventually it is time for you to rest as well. Who do you wake up?
I brought 2 acorns that I'm holding in my hand up to where I'm sleeping on the tree limb, and I'll toss one at Kai.
But what? Oh, I'm awake.
I'm sorry. I need to rest. So if you could stay watch and vigilant, that would be much appreciated.
Certainly. Some sleep.
Kai, roll me a hearts check.
I got a 4 and a 9, so that's 13.
Okay. You manage to stay awake as Orson begins to dream of his training and the times that he has protected people, and then the down times where he just had fun with his friends when he wasn't on call, the jokes that he used to share with Lilith when things weren't so dire. And you all wake up rested enough to continue your day. Unfortunately, this game doesn't seem to have a long rest option, so all of your stats are still the same.
Yep.
But you aren't
All right.
exhausted, in a sense.
My lady, how did you sleep?
As good as one does with world-ending threats upon them.
So, like a baby?
No,
I says very jokingly.
but I appreciate the sentiment of levity.
Have to try. That is what I'm here for, isn't it? I says, carefully dropping out of the tree.
We do enjoy your jokes and your romanticisms quite often, Kai. I know that in this place it seems a little bit dark and dreary with the weight of the world upon us. So any lightness that we can give and get, it's very much appreciated.
I seem dark, but I'll see the dawn. I have faith. I also seem to have an acorn in my shoe.
I don't know how that got there.
I shakes down and then puts her boot back on.
I had a moments of memories long forgotten. Should we continue our way down the road?
Yes, I think we should.
Nowhere to go but forward.
All right. As you begin to head forward, you walk maybe about an hour when you hear a shriek coming from nearby.
Oh, that's not good.
I think we should investigate. I mean, I don't want to go out of my way to save them, but there still are people. We need to try.
Are we sure that's a person?
I will move forward. The two of you please stay behind me as we discover what possible other creatures or madness this could be.
As you approach where the shriek came from, you pass a group of trees, and then suddenly you're in a clearing with nobody's there.
Hello?
I don't see anyone. This feels like a trap.
My thoughts exactly.
Hey, we aren't there. Orson is.
How far in do you walk?
Orson was just going to the edge of the clearing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the edge.
You don't see anybody. You do hear the shriek, though, coming from the opposite side again.
I don't know, maybe we can maneuver ourselves closer?
Okay, why don't we follow the tree line around to the opposite edge? I don't think going out into the open, especially at this point, is a wise decision.
All right.
Keep your wits about you.
Yes, let's be careful.
You begin to walk in following the tree line, but you realize that every time you take another step, the tree line seems to get further from you, but you are right next to it.
This is either a joke or does anyone? We're not making any progress. This feels very strange.
It does, but I don't know. I guess the queen will move forward and be like, excuse me, is there something going on here? If not, I need to go on my way.
As you move forward, the tree line seems to get even further away. It's almost a mile away now. Yet you've only walked 30 steps.
Shall we go back?
No, we're going about this wrong. Fey magic is supposed to trick us, correct? What if we're focusing on trying to get somewhere instead of what we actually want? Like, we're getting distracted by the things around us trying to get to the edge of the clearing when that's not really the solution that we need.
What is the solution then?
I don't know, just think about solving the gloom and walking forward. Maybe we'll make progress that way. I don't know, it's a long shot.
As you walk forward, the trees get further and further.
Why don't we try to step back just a ways?
Can we get back to the path?
I haven't heard any shrieking for quite some time.
This could be the fairies trying to keep us from going somewhere dangerous.
Could be.
You take 1 step, 2 steps back. It's hard to tell. 3 steps, 4 steps. The trees are getting closer again.
All right, let's just walk backwards as if we're going forward. That makes sense.
Turn around and walk backwards into the clearing, you mean? It'd be the weirdest solution to a trick I've heard.
Walk backwards to go forwards?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess it's worth a shot. Turn around and start walking backwards.
The tree line gets further away.
Well, okay, so you need to not face the way that we're walking. So you need to go blindly backwards, if that makes sense. So I'm standing here, and if I walk forward, trees go away, right? If I go back, it comes forward. So we just walk backwards.
Don't question why it works, just accept the fact that it does work.
Through your testing, whenever you walk towards the tree line from the opposite way that you've come, whether backwards or forwards, the tree line grows further away.
Fey magic. Can I try and make a check to figure out a way to navigate this weird magic?
You can't, but your bard can. Make a rune check.
I was about to say, can I? Yeah. If I could pick up my dice. Okay, that was a 5 and a 4.
Hey.
You're pretty sure that, or you've heard of this actually. This is just a trap. They're fairly easy to get out of. The only way to escape them is to walk the way you've come.
Yeah, I have heard of this before. It's just a silly trap. We just have to go back the way we came.
All right.
That's how we get out of it. Like I said, fairies like to have their fun.
Well, it's not fun to play with people trying to save the world. I do not appreciate this.
Might might not have set it up for us. It might have just been here and we walked into it.
I disagree. It's hilarious. So walking backwards, walking back on the path that we were.
Yep. As you walk towards where you came from, the trees get closer and closer until it was the same size clearing it was when you first entered.
And I think it's okay if we get back on our path.
I do too. Yes, that would work quite well.
I think we're free of that.
I'm wondering from the two of you, do we know what we are looking for? I was thinking last night that we know the direction that we need to go, but I am unclear of what we need to be looking for. What does this gate look like to the Fae?
Do you want the political answer or the real answer?
I will have whatever answer you are willing to give me, my lady.
I have no clue what it's supposed to look like. We're just told about it. I know my mother told stories, but I don't know. I think it's more of the type of magic that finds you, or, well, you find trouble, one of the two.
That's most of the stories I've heard as well, but it's been a long time since there have been stories of someone successfully finding this place and coming back. There was this one drunk guy, but we found out the next day he was making it all up. All the stories I've heard are much older, and they don't always line up, and sometimes some bards, not myself of course, can get a little flowery and descriptive and over-exaggerate things. I would never do that.
Of course not.
I says in the tone that means she absolutely has done that.
Of course, of course.
As you continue down your path, the fairies' lights appear again in the trees, leading you
Oh, our
once
friends
more
are back.
to the northeast direction. As you are walking forward, you begin to see fog low on the ground, and it covers once again, that swampy muck texture. You don't see any slime this time, but it's very difficult to see. You do see, though, up ahead, someone standing there with a cloak, watching you.
All right. I guess gingerly we follow.
As you get closer, it speaks. You are trespassing on my property. Please leave, or I must force you to leave.
Oh, sir, I am so sorry. I do not mean to be a bother. My name is Lilith Kai, the Wraith Singer.
Lilith Kai, the Wraith Singer. Do you know what I can do when I have your name? Lilith Kai, the Wraith Singer.
I has been giving Lilith a look. Like, when she started saying it, I just started giving her the "are you kidding me" look.
May I have your middle name, Lilith Kai, the Wraith Singer?
Please don't.
Well, I don't think that would be wise after saying that. I'm sorry, sir. We're trying to evade the gloom that's killing everybody around here. We want to stop it.
It's not killing everybody, it's killing the pest, the humans, the ugly bovine creatures. It's killing you, not everybody.
What is going to happen once it's done with us? Do you think it will eat its fill, or do you think it will just be hungry for more?
I get my powers from this gloom that you fear. If you want to pass through my lands, I'm afraid I must try to stop you. Lilith Kai, the Wraith Singer.
Well,
I don't think we have much of a choice than to go through.
I don't either.
Let's roll initiative again.
All right. 17.
14.
Hey, I got a 17 too.
Kai, what did you get? 13?
14.
14.
I feel like when Lilith started saying her name, Kai tried to get up to put her hand over her mouth, but she got stuck and couldn't quite get up there.
Orson and Lilith go first.
All right. Lilith, did you want to go first?
Sure, I guess I will get out and start doing the attack. I'll use my arrows of like these tiny, delicate blades that jut out as I sing a tune. So it's a d20 and a d10.
Yes.
That is a 11, 1 and 10.
All right. You successfully deal some damage to this person as it lifts up its staff and blocks some of it. Goes, Lilith, Kai the Wraith Singer, you can't hurt me that badly. So you do 20 damage.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Orson.
Right. Orson will rush up towards this hooded, cloaked figure, sword and shield in hand. As he's traveling, he will say, "You get your powers from the gloom. We are here to bring back the light, and so be it that you will be struck down."
But the light is so boring. Roll your blades attack.
1 and 11, so 12. Oh man, that's 3 ones. Just kidding.
Not quite. You do succeed though, as you deal 15 damage.
You do not see colors from the darkness, only from the light, and it is beautiful.
The creature begins to go, "Where the naughty hawthorn grows looks for prints of fairy toes. Where the grass rings are green, moonlight dances shall be seen." And you watch as he's like slowly healing himself as he finishes his song.
Oh.
Dude.
And he goes back up to... Okay. So he finishes his song and he seems more rejuvenated.
Well, such
Kai.
interesting too.
I do not like this creature.
I don't like you. What's your name?
Kai's response is going to be, she's going to attempt to charm by saying, "Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. My friend, I believe you talk too much." So she is attempting to charm him to stop talking.
Roll a runes check.
I think it's actually poems. If you roll against poems to charm or otherwise slay.
Oh.
Yeah, 12. So it works.
He taps the tips of his chin and he goes, "You're boring too." But he stops talking beyond that. Lilith.
Here, since he did wordy things to fix himself, getting him to shut up would be good.
I guess I will attack again.
Alright, roll blades.
I got a 6 and an 8, so 14.
Alright. You manage to slash into him, dealing enough damage where he falls. And as he's falling, he goes, "The gloom will win, Lilith Kai, the Wraith Singer." And then he vanishes.
That was annoying.
A bit.
Concerning that fae folk, or at least some of them, get power from the gloom.
Yes, it shows where people's allegiance lie, I suppose. But luckily we got out of there. That's what matters most, right?
True.
My lady, I'd please beg of you, please do not use your name anymore as we journey on to the Fae.
Of course.
Yes, never give them your name.
I forget about the stories. I'll do better though.
In doubt, tell them you can call me and then use a nickname.
Right?
Sometimes even a partial name can bring some power to creatures.
Well, good to know, good to know. I guess I should just paid attention to my studies a bit more. Shall we? And she kind of just motions forward to carry on towards the different glittering fairy lights.
Yes, let's continue, and Kai starts moving forward. Yes, one good thing is if some fae are connected, It wasn't in his. He was in our world, not theirs. So hopefully that means the ones that partner with the Gloom aren't welcome there.
It could be, very much so. We'll just have to find out.
Certainly hope so.
Alright, so as you continue walking, following the lights once more, the forest grows denser, and the smell of mildew hits your nose again. And you arrive in a clearing, and you see straight ahead of you a doorway. A very unassuming red doorway covered in flowers and blooming with a slight glow. And as you go to take a step forward, you hear a deep voice from the wall that this door rests on.
What do you think you are doing here?
And you look up and you see a dragon sitting there watching you.
Well, hello. It's nice to meet you, sir, but we are trying to find the door to the fairies. Must ask them a question.
Well, you found it, but I can't let you through unless you prove yourself.
And how do we do that?
You must defeat me.
All right.
And there's no way around that.
Like we couldn't get you a fruit basket or something.
Why would I want fruit?
Well, I mean, it's delicious, but other than that.
And where would you get fruit in your gloom-infested world over there?
Very true, but I guess fighting it is. Everyone wants to fight this week.
If steel is what they request, then steel is what we shall give them.
Do we have to beat you or do we have to kill you? I feel like that second one would be rather rude of us.
I won't die if I go down, but I will just come back again. So,
Great.
defeat me, and I will still live, but you will pass the test.
Well,
If I defeat you, you will not live, and you will fail the test.
well, we're dying one way or another to the gloom, I guess.
Roll initiative.
Might as well.
If I faced to death before, I
6.
got a 6.
Orson, what did you
Hey,
Hey.
buddies.
All right.
17 again.
The dragon will make it fair. No, he won't. He's gonna stay
Dragon,
on
make
the
it fair.
wall. You go first, though.
Little man, can you reach me? I didn't think so.
Orson's just going to stay as close to the queen as possible, and just ready the shield in a defensive stance, and dig his feet into the ground, ready to any sort of attack that will be coming out him.
Okay. The dragon goes next.
Right?
And he flies down and opens his mouth wide as a shot of fire and flame rushes towards you. Let me just double check what fire damage does.
I would presume fire
Knife 'em
damage
hurts.
is very hot.
Well, I wanted to make sure it does 6 specific things. It
Understandable.
reduces hearts and poems and can be blocked by shields. It is going after Orson, though, because Orson is in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I need poems to work. Mostly because I have the rest of the poem that's like pinned to my wall to get through.
So as it attacks, it rolls a 10, and that is a super success. And it does 31 fire damage.
31 fire damage.
Oh boy.
And can I be blocked by shields?
It can.
Okay. it being blocked by shields, what does that mean mechanically, though?
30 or 14 of your damage would be blocked if you used all of your
Okay.
shield. So you would still have
Oh, okay.
17 damage to take 2 hearts.
Okay, all right, perfect. Well, then I'm going to raising my shield out, blocking as much of the flame that comes at me. It's still spreading around my body, and it's just like enveloping my armor and hair and my tunic, and you can smell the singeing flesh and burning hair as most of my long wavy brown hair and beard is now singed to a crisp.
I am going to correct something. It says you have to roll against shields when you wish to dodge,
Oh, okay.
which will be a 14.
Okay. 9 and 17.
Okay.
So,
Then the points stand. Well,
okay.
so you are at 2 hearts, sir.
Yes.
Up next is Lilith and Kai.
Kai is currently thinking, can we distract the dragon and shove the queen through the door? Because that didn't seem to go well. I think Kai is going to use poems to help heal our lovely Orson again. So she just kind of points to him and says, in the fell clutch of circumstances, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. And she's gonna I'll just give you 8.
Okay.
My poems are now hurting, but hopefully that will help.
Okay. So I'll be back up. I'll be up to 10.
All right, and Lilith?
Oh, no. Yeah.
I am going to try and attack it
All right.
with the arrows. Yep, that is a 10.
You deal 20 damage to it,
Nice.
and it grimaces and just goes,
Is that all you've got?
Orson, it's your turn.
Orson is going to do the thing he does best. Rushing the creature, he will remember the good times that he's had with the queen, staying by her side, guarding and protecting her. The lovely times with the bard Kai, the laughs and pranks that were once played, and the joyous music that was enjoyed. Standing firm in front of this creature, lifting the steel blade and bringing it down across the chest of the dragon into the scales, Orson will attack.
All right, roll me a blade.
Blades, oh, so close. 1 and 6, so 7.
All right, you succeed as you deal 15 damage to the dragon. And
Is it looking hurt?
I feel like Orson is like a mess of flame at this point too. It almost looked like he was rushing forward with his hair and beard on fire.
it looks bloodied in D&D turn.
Okay, so progress.
Up
Progress.
next is the dragon, though.
Ah, terrifying.
I don't have anything that does damage, and it's problematic.
It did not like that Kai healed someone, and it didn't like that the queen stabbed it and did a lot of damage. So I'm going to roll a d6 to determine which one it's going after. 1, 2, 3 is Kai. 4, 5, 6 is Lilith. All right. It looks at our bard friend and goes,
Nobody wants to hear your poems. I get enough of that bullshit in the town.
and it rolls below its number, and you take 21 fire damage.
Kai's
Oh
dead.
boy.
I don't think I would be able to block that enough.
Trying to check my stuff too. I don't think I can.
Can I like attempt to do a magic thing? don't know if it's gonna do enough to help anything, because there's literally nothing I roll aside from... It just says, if you wish to cast any sort of magic, find a symbol, and then blah, 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 and lower your runes, but like, I don't know, so it's up to you.
I can reduce, I can go ahead and try to reduce 15 of that. So, no.
Well, you would take
14,
that
I guess?
instead.
Oh yeah, now I take that instead of
You
lower
could
blades.
reduce it. I don't know if it lets you.
I can try and reduce it by 9, I think, with the
I-
blades.
I'll say sure. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work, but I'll say sure. I think it's supposed to be all or nothing, but it doesn't specifically say all or nothing, so.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'll
roll a
roll
blades attack.
blades. Okay. All right, 12 and 2, so 14.
Just made it. All right. So you take, you said 9 damage of it?
Yeah, because I take the damage in the other's stead, so I will take 9 damage
Okay.
and try to reduce that as much as possible.
You take 12 damage instead of the full 21. And the bard is still alive as the knight blocks and is barely standing.
Kai is also very singed and smoking.
There's so much blood.
So much blood, like pouring out of eyes and and the ears. Orson just looks like he just came out from cleaning a chimney, because there's so much soot just covered on his body at this point.
Kai looks about the same.
All right.
Imagine her hair has caught fire. She is heartbroken because her fiddle is a smoldering pile of ashes, and she's also kind of pissed because it killed her fiddle.
That's what she's pissed about.
She's in a little shock. You fixate on specific things.
Lilith and Kai, it is your turn.
All right. I think I want to damage it again.
Okay.
All right. That is a 5. I got a 1 and a 4.
That will succeed. You will do 20 damage to it. It is still up. Kai, what would you like to do?
I am going to attempt to charm the dragon with poems. Because,
May I offer another suggestion?
yes, if there's anything that could be effective.
You do have magic that could damage it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't tell me what to roll for damage. It just says that I
The
can
damage
cast
is
magic.
the total number of your runes.
Oh. In that case, is it still up on its thing on the wall?
No, it's right next to you.
Okay. And Kai is going to... I don't know. What should this symbol look like? I think...
And you can spend as many points as you want of that to make this very powerful. You just have to explain to me what you're doing and succeed your roll.
I think Kai is going to draw a mostly square-shaped symbol in the air, and then like lift her fist up like it's doing an uppercut, and she's going to cause a large chunk of earth to fly up and smack the dragon in its head.
All right, roll me a runes check.
Lost one. Let's try that again. So that would be a 10, and my runes are still at 19, so it works.
You lift up this chunk of earth and uppercut the dragon as it just finishes breathing fire on you and your allies, and it successfully gets knocked unconscious as
Yay!
it poofs and lands back on the wall,
I just
beaten.
coughs a couple of times. It's like, that's why you don't mess with bods. Ow.
Good job, guys.
Nicely done.
Now we've proven ourselves dragon.
Yes. You have surpassed the test that you needed to pass. You may now enter
Thank you.
through the doorway.
And I think we go through.
Orson's gonna pat off all the fire and flame of his singed beard and hair and look down at his burnt body and then over at Kai's burnt body. You did well, kid. You did well.
Not so bad yourself, old man. And she's just kind of like subconsciously like smoothing her hair back to like pat out the flames. I don't know if the real
It's like a one bald spot on your hair.
realization. I don't know if she's fully realized just how hurt she is, but it's fine.
Lilith opens the red doorway, and inside is a bright purple light that beacons you to hope and survival. And you have successfully survived the gloom.
Yay!
Yay!
Success!
Barely.
Yes,
Yeah.
barely.
Two of you.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
deadly. Holy cow.
Yeah. Thank you, Orson.
Man.
Yeah.
I is now going to be forever grateful to Orson, because ow.
Yeah, there's a few things in here that I'm not 100% sure if we did it right, but it was fun, so who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely an interesting platform to have that sense of dread, like constantly.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if we need to be fighting right now, but like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a bunch of like little oddity things that popped up, like the 17-eyed person.
Uh-huh.
That's just a random thing
Yeah.
that pops up.
This-
There's some other ones that I didn't use.
This could be fun to kind of maybe like take and maybe tweak a bit for a longer form story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. I don't have the energy for that, but yeah.
It'd be interesting to see this as a very long survival game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. An epic fantasy adventure.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, let's have everybody tell the listeners where you're all from. So we'll start with Brianna.
So you can find most of my stuff over at Pseudonym Social. I'm a solo producer over there doing 2 actual plays, Aboard the Opal Star and Disciples of the Eight. Also some other side little collab stuff that's in the works. It's easier to find me there on Twitter, and then you can find my personal Twitter from there.
Okay, and Mary.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at NerdOnWheels15, and you can also catch me on the GM table where we do actual plays for performers by performers. And we're coming out with a brand new show called Mana Town in about 4 weeks.
That sounds awesome.
It's basically a fantasy noir.
I am excited.
I like everything about that.
Magic prohibition, all that cool stuff.
I saw the session 0. I am excited. Let's just say that. All right, and finally, Tony.
So I am part of the Make It Playable team. We have a podcast where we build D&D characters based off of personalities from film and books and comics and you name it. So we are just finishing up our Disney and Dragons series. So you can catch us building our Disney princesses as D&D playable characters. You can also catch us on Twitch. Right now I'm currently doing just a 1 day a week character building on our Twitch channel, and you can find us there at MI Playable on Twitch. If you want to chat with us, we're on Twitter at MI Playable, where we post the goings-ons of our just what we're doing in the podcast and TTRPG community.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining. This was a lot of fun. I'm sorry for the last minute change of our original gameplay.
Oh no, it's fun. This was a lot
No,
of
it's
fun. I very much enjoyed this.
And if you all want to check out this game, The Queen of Light's Last Stand, you can find it on itch.io. I will have the details in the description down below. You can also find us over on Twitter at Beholder to No One. or Facebook, if Beholder to No One, though we're not really very active there. Also, we officially have a website. Hooray! I keep saying in the last a bajillion ones that we have a website, but now we actually have one, and I'm pretty stoked because it looks really cool. So if you like it, I might be able to hook you up with my husband to go make you one too. I don't know.
Nice.
But yeah, please check out all of our other stuff if you want to listen to me talk about D&D and TTRPGs with lovely people of the TTRPG community. I do that on Mondays. And if you want to hear more one-shots like this, that's every other Thursday. Or on the opposite Thursdays, we do an actual play called Behold Clearlight, where that's again a little tense. It's getting a little tense. So y'all, you need to go listen to that. But thank you so much for listening. I hope to see y'all again in the future. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.